Just a little update on the DICE operation that we had in Hartside. We completed 10 arrests downtown, made a couple meetings with Hartside Residents Association, and as well as Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce a couple times to talk about the operations, and have had a lot of positive feedback from the residents and the employees that work down there, saying that they have seen a positive in public safety downtown, the point where since we had that operation, there has not been one shooting incident in downtown Grand Rapids. I mentioned already robberies are down significantly year to date. There's more positive things going on. Today we graduated 20 kids from our Drive for Success program, which, if you're not familiar, is our joint program with the Boys and Girls Club of Grand Rapids, partly financed by the Safe Task Force and a local driving school and partners. So we're really excited. 20 of them are out today. It's a great program. Other positive news that we currently have 12 recruits in-house who have already graduated from the police academy, and they're going through the in-service part. This is their second week, so we'll have them out on the road in about 6.5 more weeks. And then we have 9 new recruits starting at the academy on Monday. So want to give, again, feeling very positive about things, and we have a lot of good things to look forward to as we move forward. We're making safety plans for our prize. Our prize is back. We've been seeing a lot more people coming downtown. We got festivals. Obviously, we do security for Griffin's games, DeVos Place and Van Andel Arena events we staff, and right on Monroe, there's a new crosswalk, which actually would take a little bit of work away from the police officer, which we usually have standing there doing the job of the crosswalk. So that's a positive for us and makes us more efficient and allows us to better patrol. So I believe that's all I have, but I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any for me.
Thank you, Chief. Colleagues, I'll start with Commissioner Moody. Anything? No? Colleagues? Okay. Thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you for your time,
Appreciate
Commissioner.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is an update from the Safe Task Force.
Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Asante Kane. I'm the liaison to the Safe Task Force. That is an effort by the City of Grand Rapids to partner with the community and coming up with gun violence solutions and crime prevention solutions. As part of that work, we periodically have pitch and highlight nights where members of the public can pitch their ideas to the task force and get funding for up to $10,000. Andrea here from Puertas Aberritas is going to speak on one of those projects that she completed, and I'll turn it over to her.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here. My name is Andrea Nostroza. I'm the founder and the executive director of Puertas Abiertas, what is Open Door. It's an organization for domestic abuse to help the Latino community, women, men, victims of domestic abuse. We create this program, and I want to thank for the opportunity that we call Fostering Mental Health and Awareness, Encouraging Healthy Latin Adolescents. We have, how we go here with that? Yep. In the demographic, we serve 43 adolescents between the age of 15 and 24. Now, right now, we have more than 50. The ethnicity were 100% Hispanic. Gender was 16% females, 84% male. What is this? It's because the relationship the mother have with their boys, with their sons. There is a little bit of conflict with the moms, with the daughters. So mom doesn't want, and that's what we're teaching, that their sons follow the step of the father, the violence. So they're bringing them to us, what is amazing. Geographic was 76% Grand Rapids, 24% Wyoming. The level of education was 92% there in high school and 7% no school. The countries they are from: Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico, El Salvador. We located in different places so we can serve different communities here in the city of Grand Rapids. if you see this graphic, they will tell you that one thing they have all in common, they all come from domestic violence houses or abuse. Adolescents, we have the percent of PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorder. We have sexual abuse, suffered abuse, anxiety, self-harm. So this is a factor that we have seen a lot, is they come with depression, they come with PTSD, they come hurt. So our mission is to help them to have this process of healing the best way possible, giving them opportunities, different type of opportunities. We partner with different organizations to try to, like I said, to have more integration of the community. So we partner with the Timothy Project. They help the kids across the border by themselves. They're adolescents. They're here. We partner for Group Hub with. We celebrate summer. We are going to be in the Art Prize. So one of the things the Puertas Abiertas does is working with the community. The organization have more than 50 community partners here in the city of Grand Rapids and Wyoming, including the Council of Mexico, Guatemala, and other countries. The service provided was one-on-one therapy, all provided by licensed counselors, support groups, community work. They do garage cleaning, furniture painting, yard work, gardening, trash pickup, etc. Physical education. They are currently doing soccer at the Roosevelt Park every Saturday. Physical conditioning, crafts and hobby and activities. These are all the activities we're doing. There's some picture of some of the boys that are participating. That is community serve. As you see, these are very encouraging pictures, because this is what we want. This is what we're trying to do, is to teach them healthy, safe way of communicate. We have the outcomes empowering victims through education regarding the cycle of domestic abuse. So we're teaching them to break the cycle of the abuse. And that is extremely important here in the city of Grand Rapids and Wyoming, like the police was talking about. We're helping that too. Increasing information and access to violence-free living arrangement, because it's just what they learn. They learn at home, they live in their country, and they bring it here, and they share with the community and know in a positive way with, all the crime and everything. So we're trying to increase that information. They can have a safe place here. Creating a positive support system or relationship with trusted adults, increasing their self-esteem, and developing healthy friendships. That is very important for their process. Increasing the ability of cultural sensitive services, addressing the cycle of domestic abuse. Puertas Abiertas is an organization that provides cultural sensitive services, meaning every single staff speaks English and Spanish. We don't translate therapy, because feelings cannot be translated. And that is something the therapist is not going to get. All the services, like I said, are in English and Spanish. And we also educate West Michigan about child victimization and exposure to violence at the individual level, trying to minimize the long-term effect of trauma through one-on-one therapy. That is extremely important. Reducing violence in our community, what our kids learn, to speak up if they are victim of violence, or identify if someone is victim of violence, to take all violence and abuse seriously, to understand the foundation of healthy relationships, to value the meaning of respect, to recognize the signs of abuse and how to help, to participate in recreational activities and volunteer opportunities, to understand the storied history of consequences begin gang involvement. Sad part here, Grand Rapids, they have tons of gang individuals right now. And what I completely certain, because I would say 90% of our kids that we see, there's about more than 600. Well, not 90% of them, but the adolescents have been asked to enjoy a gang. So it's very, that's something very critical right now. Los services provided, I already spoke about that. And my printer print everything mixed up, so that's happened. Needs and goals. In the Hispanic Latino community, a high number of migrants, youth, and adolescents require emotional support, labor, academic and preventive health tools such as physical activities and sport. Why is this so important? What the program, the possibility the SAFE task force gave us, it was to start something very meaningful, very important, and this program worked. The problem is we don't want this to be something temporary. We want this to be a program that we can expand. So we need the support to continue with this. And it's not much money what needs to be invested, because it's the people who work with the adolescent. Doing community work is not expensive. It's like the possibility, because we need to monitor them. So we need to, to contribute to the people who is going to monitor this program. They don't need much. They need attention. They need support. They need somebody who they can talk. They need to feel safe. They need good friendship. They know these people there's in the street offering them money, for hitting others or for doing crime. We don't need that, and we can stop it because this program is working, and that we have proved it since we start. And thanks to the amazing support of Sante, who really helped me with my speech because I didn't know what I was going to do that night, and he really showed me, and I was able to do this, and I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna read to you an interview that one of the kids have, and it was, let me see if I can. The interviewer: has your involvement in this program had an impact in your life? The child said yes. Child because I don't know. I have kids. My oldest is 30 years old and is still a child for me. The kids say yes. Interviewer: why? What are the changes you have seen in yourself? I feel happier. Before, I used to spend much time on the phone, playing games. I was very bored. I hardly went out and slept a lot during the day. That is a typical teenager. How has this change affected you? My grades improved. I signed up for summer school. It's something I wasn't going to do before. Now I am much better spirited. I am going to change the school. Next school year, I'm going to a private Christian school with a better academic level than the one I attended this year. What activities do you enjoy the most? Going to church, going to support groups, and playing soccer on Saturdays. What kind of community work do you like to do? We go to help people and their houses, especially older people. I help at Puertas Abiertas, and we help other organizations. How else can we help you? I would like to have tutoring. I really want to improve my classes more. Since this past year I got bad grades because I almost didn't go to school. I was very depressed. I wish there was more transportation available so more kids could come to these programs. I would also like to learn to play guitar and study Bible in a deeper way. That is one of the kids. One of the kids that if we didn't take, it would be lost. I have an interview for a mother. This was a referral that we got from a high school here in Grand Rapids. My son's school social worker referred me to Puertas Abiertas because he was cutting himself and seemed very depressed. He had also lost interest and discipline. Now he's more motivated. He dedicates himself more to this work, feels sure of himself, is developing respect to others, especially adults, and is learning teamwork. With the help of one-on-one therapy, he has stopped cutting himself and is able to talk about his problems. Also, my husband had the opportunity to go with my son to one of the sessions about suicide. He learned to take seriously what our son was going through and how to help him, and the importance of checking in with our children. That is so important, and that's what we teach. We not only work with the children or with the adolescents, we work with the families, with the parents. We have helped so far more than 400 women here in the city of Grand Rapids, Wyoming, who have victims of domestic abuse. We have seen more than 600 children, and we have helped more than 20 men victims of domestic abuse. So this is a program that's working. The part of the city gave us the opportunity to work with these teenagers and young adults. It's been amazing. We know this program works. We have done a big change, but honestly, I don't want this to be a temporary solution because those things doesn't work. We cannot show the kids, we have an amazing program for you. We have therapy to help with your past, with your abuse, with the abuse you suffer at home. We have opportunities for sport, doing free soccer every Saturday in Roosevelt Park. We have so many organizations, restaurants here in Grand Rapids who offer the food for those kids who go and do the sport. So this is a program that's helping. 31% of the children who are having problems with the law right now here in Grand Rapids come from home with domestic abuse, domestic violence, and that is proof. 31%. And we are trying to help. That's why we're here.
Thank you very much. Very thorough presentation. Thank you for all the information as well as the testimonials. I'd like to turn it over to my colleagues to see if you have any questions or comments.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Jones. Thank you for this report and for what you do. In reference to the therapy with the domestic abuse children and adults, is that therapy for the entire family, or are you just dealing with the youth and young males?
We are offering therapy for the entire family because we divide it. We have adolescents therapy. We have at least with group support too. We have children's therapy and support group for them when we do our therapy. And we have the adult, the mothers, and the fathers sometimes.
And you have reported in your report that they too have been once children of domestic abuse by their own parents as they are adults now.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Those problems are getting the help that they need and getting corrected.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate
Absolutely.
hearing this, and I hope that you can bring us more data in the future as to how many of your families have overcome
I would
it.
love to do that. And I want you to be aware, I was a therapist at one of the biggest schools here in Grand Rapids who had the most percent of Latino community. I took this problem on my own. And it's because it was not the lack of services, it was the lack of connections of the services. So Puertas Abiertas, that's what it does. Connect the services for the Latino community. And that's what we're doing.
Thank you.
Colleagues?
Sure. First of all, thank you for this report and your button. Oh, yeah. There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, I'm very impressed with what you've been doing. I can't keep track of everything in the world, so
Thank
it's
you so
nice to know
much.
you're doing this. I wonder, I come from my whole family, not me, but my whole family is all educators. And so I know the grief and the sadness that goes on in schools with teachers trying to, they recognize, they identify problems, but sometimes their hands are tied by laws that may need to be changed. And I'm wondering, are you tracking any of that stuff? Where is the law getting in the way of making sure people are taken care of?
One of the things I personally struggle, is when a woman or a man is victim of abuse. Abuse is not only physical. Abuse is psychological, emotional, financial, sexual abuse. So when the police go to their home, if the woman, the man, doesn't show a sign that's been physically assaulted,
Right.
there's nothing to do.
Right.
And that is something they struggle with.
Yep.
Because the damage, physical damage, the bruises go away. But the damage, the emotional damage, the psychological, what the kids are learning, it doesn't. If we don't do something about that, those kids are going to go and going to have their own families. And they're going to keep going. So if we don't stop the cycle and we teach the community and we help them, or give an option of you're being abused, you know how much it takes for a person who is being abused to make a call, to ask for help, to say, oh, you don't have bruises, we cannot do anything. You know how frustrating is that? I know there's a lot more. I know they involve a lot laws and everything, and I completely understand. But it's frustrating because that's what in 2018 we have so many suicides of the Latino community. And that's why I started the organization, because in 2018 we lost 4 Latino, 3 women, 1 man. 3, 4, they hung themselves, they commit suicide. And 1, because her husband was released for Yale and he went directly to drown her. So this is a situation that I would love to have more support, because we're doing our part. We have served more than 400 women here in this country, in this town. And well, not 400 from here, maybe 100 for, around other towns here, close to Muskegon. But they're here. We walk outside their home every day. We don't know what's going on. Teachers, principal, they take the kids out of the school because they behave bad. But why? Because we don't ask. We only say, oh, your kid is hitting another kid, so he needs to go. The problem is the kid is doing exactly what his father is doing his mother or his other siblings. Right. That is the problem.
And you mentioned you were a school counselor, so you must know that sometimes when you make a referral, it gets bogged down.
Yes, it does.
And all of the privacy laws and all the other stuff needed, but in the way, I think, a little bit. Mm-hmm. So.
And you also know the Latino community, the dirty clothes wash at home. But we have to get the trust. Right. And that is very important, because getting the trust of the community is one thing that you don't get very easy. But when you have it, you need to use it. And that's why we want the support of the city as well, to help us to keep doing this, because I know it works. We have testimony, we have data. You can go to the park Saturday, they're there playing soccer. You see, and that's opportunities that we're giving to these children, instead of being on the street committing violence or learning more things on internet or watching videos on YouTube. Who knows what they do? I mean, I know, but that is the point. We can do this, but we need the support. We have the trust, we have the organization, we have the base, we have an amazing therapist, all cultural, because everybody have at least to live 6 months in another country to learn. So they're all culture sensitive. I'm from Chile, and Mexico is very different to me. Guatemala is very different to me. We're not in in the same. We're different.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you again, Ms. Castro. Appreciate it. Thank you. Our last item is an update from the Office of Oversight and Public Accountability.
Good afternoon. I am pleased today to provide an update from OPA regarding our recent staffing efforts. You may recall that we came to this committee several months ago and updated regarding the additional staffing that we've been allotted from City Commission, and we're very grateful for that additional staffing, and we're also grateful for our partners who've helped to make that happen, including Harvard Bloomberg and the Kellogg Foundation. So with me today, you see OPA staff, and I do want to just provide a little information about them and the work they'll be doing. So first we have Brendan Arnold. Brendan. We're going to go with Bren because we already know. We see that issue coming up. But Brendan obtained his bachelor's degree in social relations from Michigan State in 2014. After that, he worked in diversity programming in Lansing. He then went to MSU Law School and graduated in 2020. And now he will be working as our lead accountability specialist. So as you all know, Kristen Johnson, who worked in that space before, is now the director of oversight for prisons in Hawaii. So he has Kristen to thank for this great opportunity, but we're grateful to have him. For the last 2 years, he worked as a clerk at Rhodes McKee as well. We also have Moran Kaval, who is our Harvard Bloomberg Fellow. He obtained his bachelor's from Stanford, and he studied science, technology, and politics and policy. After that, he spent 2 years working in local government on anti-poverty policy in Stockton, California. Following that time, he got a master's in public policy from Harvard Kennedy School of Government, and he'll be working really on some of those statistical analysis projects we talked about, also some of those long-term policy changes that we've talked about reimagining CAB and some of those types of programming. So we're excited to have Moran as part of our team. We also have Catalina Perez, who's working with us. She's working in an administrative capacity. She's been working in administrative capacities for over 25 years, and she has 10 years as an entrepreneur as well. She's from Chicago, where she worked as an administrative assistant for the state of Illinois in the Department of Human Services and Mental Health Developmental Disabilities. Grateful to have her. We have Gail Harvey as well. Gail's coming to work for us as our community affairs analyst. So she'll do a lot of that community work that we've been talking about. And many of you already know Gail from working in the community. So it's a perfect space for her to be. Gail is also the owner of a real estate company, and she's been involved in that for really over 20 years. She's been recognized by the Grand Rapids Magazine as one of the women who move West Michigan. And she's demonstrated her ability to work collaboratively, and we're excited to have her here as well. We have Albert Gasaki. I think I did it right too. He's coming as our justice analyst. And he has over 10 years of experience working in social justice and workforce development with low-income families in the United States and abroad. For the past 7 years, he's worked with Bethany Refugee Services and Michigan Works. Before that, he's originally from Rwanda, and he worked as an attorney specializing in criminal law and reparation for genocide victims. He also has a master's degree from Grand Valley State University in public administration and a Bachelor of Law from the University of Rwanda. So as a justice analyst, their jobs really are divided into two parts. Half of that job is really looking at policy with an equity lens, and we're talking about police and fire policy primarily, but we're looking at those policies to evaluate those policies, to make recommendations to strengthen those policies with an eye for the impact that they've had on community or could possibly have on community. And also doing that same work is Akedra Abrams. And Akedra earned 2 bachelor's degrees from Grand Valley State University in criminal justice and nonprofit administration with an emphasis on economic development. Prior to coming to OPA, she worked in the Legislative Corrections Ombudsman's office for the state for the last 5 years. So she comes with that oversight experience. She conducted comprehensive investigations, as well as working on administrative actions, policies, and procedures for the Michigan Department of Corrections, and she worked closely with Michigan's legislative bodies. So we're excited to have Akedra with us as well. And lastly, and I'm excited about the whole team, but I'm very excited about this one. We have Ms. Claudette Henry, who's been working with OPA for the last over a year now in a temporary capacity, and she's done amazing work. She is just a joy to have in our office, and I'm excited and grateful to the City Commission and to the City Manager who allowed us to have additional staffing capacity, which has allowed us to hire Ms. Claudia in full-time, and it's well-deserved. But Ms. Claudia has been working in this capacity for nearly 2 years now. She is a graduate of Fair State University and came to us after working for the Grand Rapids Bar Association, where she did membership retention and was a programs coordinator. So that's OPA's new team. Thank you to the commission and to our city manager and to everyone else. We look forward to continuing to provide great service for community, but the expanded capacity will allow us to do a lot of the programming efforts that we've talked about previously and be more intentional about the collaboration we can do in community.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brandon, Mr. Davis. Any questions, comments, colleagues?
Yeah, I got a comment, Commissioner. Mr. Davis, thank you for putting this team together. It is well needed, and it looks like you got an A team. And I know with Mrs. Harvey, you're going to be moving. You're not going to be sitting down. She's going to take care of business. So I don't know the rest of you yet, but I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. And thank you for being a part of this wonderful city that we live in. And thank you for help making it be a better place.
Sir.
Got a quick question. Of the new members, are they, are some permanent and some temp, or are they all, what's the break or the breakdown?
So we have two new individuals that are full-time traditional employees. We also received a Kellogg grant, which is a 3-year grant. So those are full-time hired-in employees, but
Okay.
there is termed. There's 3 years on that. And then we have 2 positions that are full-time temporary positions as
Okay.
well.
Very good. Thank you very much for that distinction. Okay.
I just want to know where you're putting all these people.
Got 5 little spaces that were built there. It worked perfectly, actually. But, we might come to Ms. Hitchcock's office asking for some space.
Anytime, anytime.
Now, what's their boss name?
I'm sorry? Claudia Henry is who's right there.
Very good. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank
Davis.
you.
Appreciate it. Okay. And with that, if there are no questions or comments, I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you.